Welcome. This is a how-to video on adding polynomials. So this example, the first thing you're going to want to do is identify your like terms. I like to use shapes as a visual representation for the different terms, but you could also use colors or some other labeling system. I'm going to start with the first term in the expression, 12m squared. And I just put a box around it, and then go through your expression, both of the polynomials, and find all of its like terms. In other words, all the other terms that have the m squared. 8m squared is the only other one I see, so I'll also put a box around that term. Now go back to the beginning, find your next term. The next term here is a plus 4, which is what we call a constant, where it's just the number. And do the same thing, repeat the process. Go through and find all the like terms, essentially that don't have a variable, they're just the number, a constant. That would be a plus 5. I can see here in this problem that I now have all my like terms identified. I've got my m squareds in a box, and I have my constants circled. Now you're just going to add your coefficients. So for this first example, I have 12m squared plus 8m squared. Add the coefficients, 12 plus 8, that gives me 20, and then still keep the m squared, don't change him. And then do the next term. So now I have my circles or my constants, right? So 4 plus 5. So that becomes plus 9. And that's how you add polynomials together. Let's go to the next example. Okay, we're going to start this one the same way. Start by finding your like terms. Okay, my first term here is an x squared. And I'm going to use a box and then go through the expression to find all the other terms that have this x squared. That would be our 2x squared right here. And I'll put a box around him. And keep going through. Back to the beginning, my next term is plus x. So I'm going to put a circle around him. Go through and find all my other terms with just the x and then circle him. And then do your last terms. These guys are my constants. And I'm just going to underline him, just so I know which ones match, which ones are like terms. Now notice right here, I circled this minus 6x. You want to always take this sign with the term, because remember this minus, it's like saying plus negative 6x. Subtraction is just adding in negatives, and that's going to be important here in a second when we combine the like terms. So now that our terms are all identified, we can go here and start adding the coefficients. So 4x squared plus 2x squared. 4 plus 2 is 6. I have the x squared. And then I have x, and right here this is invisible 1. So it's like saying 1x plus negative 6x, right? 1 plus, here's our negative 6. Or that's the same as 1 minus 6, which would give us our minus 5x. And then my constants, 7 plus 1. That's just a plus 8. Now both of these examples use what we call the horizontal method, where the polynomials are lined up in a straight line like this. We can also add polynomials vertically. Like this example. Instead of looking for my like terms and using boxes and circles like I had been doing, I'm actually just going to line them up in columns. So here's my first term, this j cubed. And I'm going to check to make sure that all my other j cubes are in the same column. So right up and down, above one another. Okay, so here I see j cubed, yes, those are lined up. Okay, and same thing with my next term, j squared. Okay, again, I have this j squared underneath it. And just keep going through. Here's a plus 4. Under him though, there's this plus 7j, so something's not lined up. Okay, because this 4 matches this minus 15. So I need to move him over here. I'm going to rewrite this problem out so that everything lines up neatly. So j cubed minus 3j squared plus 7j minus 15. This is a plus. And then line up my top ones. 2j cubed, and I have a plus j squared, and then like I said, I'm going to move this 4 over above the 15. Okay. Now there's this gap here over the 7. Okay, we're going to talk about him when we get there. Just leave him there though. And now you can just add straight down. So 2, we have this invisible 1 here. 2 plus 1 gives me 3j cubed. Again, the invisible 1. 1 plus negative 3, or 1 minus 3, is a minus 2j squared. And now we're here at this j. There's nothing above him, so that's like putting a 0 there. So 0 plus 7 is just 7, and then the j. And 4 plus negative 15, or 4 minus 15, is a negative 9. Now that we've looked at how to add them horizontally and vertically, let's just summarize this up. It doesn't matter when you're adding polynomials if you add horizontally or vertically. You just need to remember to identify the like terms. You can use colors or shapes, however you'd like to label them. And then remember to combine them by adding their coefficients. And that's it for this video. Great job.